that we took the government on, and it's time that we got them. What should we do? We gotta start changing our origin. We gotta go back to faith in our Lord. We've gotta go back. We gotta allow kids and people to be punk rockers and be radical. We have to so that they can learn to fight these evils, and then they can learn to stand up for themselves. You know, punk people end up in the Bible. Stand up for yourself, and you know, change. Fortunately, a very serious issue. We're continuing to discuss the evils of government. Discussing about the history of our great America. We're discussing some of the evil things that our government is currently doing to people.
What kind of my energy anarchy symbol? What kind of my energy anarchy symbol? What kind of my energy anarchy symbol?
It's time that we took the government on.
Yes, my anarchy symbol. And my anarchy symbol. My anarchy symbol. My anarchy symbol. My anarchy symbol. My anarchy symbol.
We got to allow kids and people to be punk rockers and be radical.
What kind of garbage is my anarchy symbol? What kind of garbage is my anarchy symbol? What kind of garbage is my anarchy symbol? What kind of garbage is my anarchy symbol?
Hello. How's it going? Today, we're talking about Skrulls. Look at the one on the left there. Those silly green fellows with the strange chin. It'd be good timing. I had to have a list of to do this sort of thing. I thought that the Secret Invasion TV show coming out, it's a good time to do it. So that's what we're doing today. We're talking about Skrulls. Some areas are more filled than others. I read everything that I needed to prepare for this, but honestly, I got kind of bored in certain areas. There are certain parts that are a bit more sparse. Some of the older comics maybe don't hold up quite as well as some of the newer stuff, in my opinion. So, hello. The first terrifying voice to come out of this world. I suppose the norm would be sort of a really making noise to the sort of make like twitching noises. Also, hello. Your words was. Sorry if I said that wrong. How you doing, Tom Butler? I'm still enjoying the spoils of the war from yesterday's birthday stuff. It was my birthday yesterday. I got some stuff for myself. I got these nice USB pedals that I'm gonna set up so I can switch between like PNG expressions and stuff. Because normally you would use keys on your keyboard, but I am very uncoordinated and I will absolutely miss the key that I'm aiming for and end up on like the wrong screen or something. Which has happened before. So, pedal pedals, because it's kind of hard to mess up giant steps you have to put your feet on. Along with that, I was gifted some really lovely art. My sister got me Death's Door, which I've never heard of. It's a Switch game. I don't know if it's on other platforms. But should we play that? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of talking over gameplay because I'm very bad at like multitasking. Because, I don't know, might be fun. Because, yes, 100% service for Stream Deck. Super helpful in ways I never expected. Hope everything works out for you. Thank you. Yeah, honestly, I've like Stream Deck seem really handy. Especially since they have like the little icons that you can set, so you know what you're tapping on and stuff. Super handy. So, does it come, like, are the keys in the Stream Deck by default linked to keys on a keyboard, or is it more like a touchscreen sort of thing, where it's like a miniature computer that you just plug in? Also, I got Mrs. got me the art book for that store, beautifully. It's a lot of like sort of animals that you put as like a little crow that gets people when they die or something. Like the Grim Reaper, but whatever. I'm not sure what genre Hades is. It's not like bullet hell, but it's similar to Hades. Separate panel buttons you press and you customize it to yourself. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've seen like DIY ones where you buy like a little numpad for a keyboard and you link those buttons to things, but that's significantly more tedious. This Stream Deck seems like a much better alternative. Got buttons for handling scenes, transitions, lovely. Yeah, I don't even have transitions, I literally just go, and I just do things. I don't know if it's just like cuts off the music or I haven't paid too much attention to transitions and things. There's a bunch of OBS stuff that I've just mostly glazed over. But I think it'd be good to become more familiar with the fancy transitions and stuff. Like, I want it to be cleaner than that. Just, so how does that work? Sorry, this probably wouldn't be, I'll ask for this later, maybe. It's time to get with that. But, let's see, yeah, Skrulls. Skrulls are big green fellows at the open. There's a deep watermark on this, but it's from the code, which I don't quite understand. I think someone uploaded the DeviantArt and they just like saved it. Or maybe DeviantArt just puts a stamp on everything that's uploaded there. I'm not sure, but this is from the comic. It's not from DeviantArt. It is. We'll be talking about Skrulls. Look at all those guys. Look at all those Skrulls. So, what is a Skrull? Well, as we talked a bit later, I noticed in one of the, what do you call it, one of the mods, I watched back the mod, and I thought it was, even though I thought I was talking loud, I was actually talking very quiet. So I'm going to go out of my way to like talk louder and see if that helps anything. So, in the comics, Marvel comics, the Skrulls are like a warrior race, sort of. They weren't originally, but they became one over time due to a separate race that they had conflict with. So, the Skrulls are aliens, originally from the planet Skrulls, but they've since moved around quite a lot because of, they've built up this empire of Skrulls across many planets. So there's a lot of little factions of them on different planets. And their goal is to sort of blend in with the planet's native species and slowly take over at that planet. And they were initially introduced way back in the 60s in the second ever Fantastic Four issue. And since then they've been showing up pretty frequently. like every few years, maybe. So yeah, there's this art piece is from there was this fantastic art book that was put out by was it Joseph Loeb? I think I need to double check that. Was it Joseph? Other than that, I mean, beautiful artwork in this book. Jonah Loeb, that's what it was, Jonah Loeb. So the right page, it is cool. Yeah, so there's this fantastic, let me see if I can, and basically it's, so the way it was working, I think, is that the artist would come up with the internals of the character or species or something, and then the writer for the book would sort of build off of that. I'm not sure how much back and forth there was between them, but I know from watching the dude who, I'll put his channel in here, he's on YouTube. He sort of, not kind of like, he recorded himself drawing stuff for this. Jonah Loeb Anatomy. Fucking hell, playlist. Fantastic. You know what? I'll have a quick see if we can. No, we didn't upload the one for Skrulls. I'll upload the cameras. I'll go with the Jonah one. Yeah, so this is the guy who made the art that we're looking at right now, Jonah Loeb. And Marvel commissioned him to make an anatomy book, and this one, this is from that fantastic book. I really want to get my hands on it. I've only been able to see like pictures digitally, but if there was only one art book I could get a hold of, it would be that one. It looks very nice. But yeah, Skrulls. So, Skrulls are, originally they were just like, as you see them there, but sort of pale, like white, Caucasian sort of color. But these big aliens that were basically space gods came in and just sort of experimented on their genetics to see what they could come out with. There wasn't really any end goal, I don't think, with them doing that. I know they did that in Marvel, they did that on Earth as well, with a specific goal of protecting, like, a celestial baby or something. But I don't think that's the case with the Skrulls. I think they were just doing it for fun or something. So they came out with like 4 different versions of Skrulls. There were the Prime Skrulls, which were like regular ones who were just like pale, and they didn't have any powers, but they had the potential to develop powers millions of years down the line. And those guys were very promptly killed off by the green ones, who are the ones on Skrull. So the green ones, or the deviant Skrulls, developed a ability to transform into different stuff, as well as something also the power of hypnosis, but they don't seem to use the hypnosis very often. I'm not sure if that's right around cons or what. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, they can shapeshift in people. They can't copy, like, memories or a person's personality or any of their skills. It's purely a cosmetic thing. There's a Deadpool comic about the Skrulls and this healing factor for shapeshifting super soldiers. It didn't factor in the super cancer and the overgeneration. That sounds like a Deadpool story, alright. But, what was that? Oh yeah, there's the deviant ones, which are the green ones there, and the eternal Skrulls, which are like Thanos, but green. So they're like really tall guys and buff. But unlike Thanos, they were peaceful. Whereas the deviants were like aggressive and narcissists, died violently, lovely. You love to see it. That's quite gruesome, to be honest. But yeah, the internal Skrulls were a peaceful offshoot of the Skrulls, and then the deviants, which are the green ones that shapeshift, killed all the Eternals off except one guy who sort of convinced the deviants to nourish. I was like, hey, don't do that, and then they kept him alive, and then he and one of the Skrulls like fused into a Skrull god, and they disappeared basically. And the diorites are there too, but they're not really important. I mean, they come up sometimes, but they're basically not Skrulls anymore. They're closer to like the Brood, I guess, which are like space bugs who just want to eat everything and turn everything into Brood. So, what else is there? Eternals are 8 foot tall, like they're really big, but they're all dead. So it doesn't really matter. What else is there? Yeah, that's a big bonus line there. But yeah, the prime Skrulls were like all white. For some reason, I don't know why they went green. But yeah, so this is one of the most of the time, Skrulls cannot copy the ways of people, with the exception of this fella, Clert. I'm not sure if that's one syllable or two syllables. Clert, the Super Skrull. And he was given all the powers of the Fantastic Four because the Skrulls showed up in the Fantastic Four, and they were sort of like a Fantastic Four specific villain for a time. Until like the Avengers took off and whatever. But for a while it was just the Fantastic Four that were roaming around. So they copied the Fantastic Four's abilities and they just like beamed down to the sky. But it wasn't, the way that the powers worked was that it was via a laser in space. So all they had to do was like get this guy underground and he lost his powers because he was no longer exposed to the laser from space. And then he freed himself at a later point and replaced the Invisible Woman's dad in prison. And it was a whole thing. He lost again, you know. But the Skrull Emperor was kind of frightened of the Super Skrull's powers and decided to banish him to like the fringes of the Skrull Empire so that he wouldn't be able to overthrow the Emperor. I don't think the Super Skrull had any interest in overthrowing the Emperor, but that was against her. So he was basically just hanging around Earth for the foreseeable future. Also, he ended up as a character in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which I have a copy of, but it was always broken. I got it secondhand from GameStop, which have closed down actually. They're gone now. I don't know if they're open in other countries, but this week they closed all their stores, all their websites. They are no longer around. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I couldn't find this anywhere, but I'm pretty sure the reason they put Super Skrull in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was because the Fantastic Four would take up 4 slots. So they would put Super Skrull in there and save 3 slots and use it on, like, I don't know, shoot Michael Roth, who was in there as well. I'm not sure why it all is in there, but he is. Also, is my audio okay? Am I not like peaking the mic? Because I can see it's pretty high on the audio thing, but it's not like hitting 0. So I'm not sure if I'm cutting out or what. What else is there? Yeah, he's just kind of a dick. After sort of being banished, he just sort of hangs around and he'll fight people on occasion. Like, there was a time where he was brainwashed into thinking he was a 12-year-old boy called Mr. Hero or something. There was a time he was cancer, and I don't know, he pops up every so often because he has like a cool power set, but then he doesn't do a whole lot. It'd be like doing something in the service of the Skrull Empire, even though the Skrull Empire doesn't like it very much. Yeah, he's very loyal to the Empire, despite being abandoned, basically. You can use those powers to great effect, combination, etc. Yeah. Although, yeah, honestly, the fire powers don't help much. I mean, they're helpful in that it lets Super Skrull fly and stuff, but I don't think they add a ton, like, the thing does a lot already. Anyways, it's like Skrulls versus Kree. That's the other guys. The ones who turn the Skrulls from a peaceful race into a warrior race. Kind of. So, after the Skrulls were experimented on and became all deviant and killed the Prime ones and killed the Eternal ones, there was a period where they became peaceful. They had, conquered galaxies and, not galaxies, planets. And they were just chilling, and they came across the Kree on the planet Hala, as well as the Kotati Skrull-like plant guys. They're not that important, but they're, like, just plant people who look sort of like Groot, except if Groot was covered in, like, bushes. That's the Kotati. And Kotati were also peaceful. And basically the Skrulls found a handful of the Kotati, a handful of the Kree, and dumped them on Earth's moon. And this was millions of years before there was any life on Earth. So they dumped them on the moon, left them there for a year, and said, build whatever you want on you, and the person who just builds the coolest stuff gets to live in the Skrull Empire. So the Skrulls left off for a year, came back in a year's time, and the Kotati had built this giant forest, which the Skrulls really liked. The Kree had built a bunch of towers, and weren't that the Skrulls weren't impressed. They preferred the peaceful forests that the Kotati had built up. The watch Avengers, latest heroes, and Hearts of the Atoms. They touched heavily on the Skrulls and Kree and time travel channels. Yeah, I watched that as a child. It's a good show. I mean, it's kind of hard to watch now, as a slightly older person. I tried watching it, I think it was last year, and some of the characters were just insufferable. Like, Iron Man in that is the worst, and the Wasp is incredibly irritating on the show as well. Captain America sometimes can also be like that, but there's reasons for that. Yeah, like, there's the episode where Yellow Jacket shows up, I think is both my favorite and least favorite episode, because they drive a character who was otherwise, doing good, to just become the worst version of themselves, and it's quite sad to see. But yeah, sorry, Skrulls and Kree. Was it alright? Yeah, so the Kotati basically won the contest on the moon. And the Kree were like, what the heck? We prefer the stuff that we made, so we're gonna kill the Kotati. And then they did that, and they also killed the Skrulls. And they took the Skrulls' weapons and ships, and basically backed off back to their home planet of Hala, where they went and killed the rest of the Kotati. And the Kree civilization began building up. And the Skrulls are basically unaware of this at the time. The then Skrull Emperor had been on the Earth's moon, so the Emperor died on the moon, and they had no idea for ages. and this gave the Kree plenty of time to sort of familiarize yourselves with the Skrull technology, build upon it, and start building up the environment, I suppose. And that's really what set off the Skrull-Kree war, and that's gone on basically ever since. Oh, yeah, I've just talked about this, but yeah, this is the whole thing of there's the ancient Kree people and the Kotati. You can kind of make out the Kotati do like, I don't know if you can see this. They can't see my eyes, but they're the old plan people. And then they create a missile tank that, like, over time, the Kree would become, like, very sort of racist. And some Kree would have children with other races, and that would create, that would create like bright pink, not like Caucasian color. And those were then seen as like lower class than blue Kree, which are the more familiar ones. So the blue Kree then they themselves see themselves as like very pure. They haven't studied their Kree blood, and so they're already in a place of power would sort of push down the pink Kree. It's not that important, honestly. It's unrelated to the Skrulls. And unfortunately, the Kree and the Skrulls would come back to Earth at a later point in time due to the location the Earth was, like, geographically. It was exactly in the middle of the Skrulls and the Kree, so they came to Earth to take it as a, what's it called? Like a military point? Is it a point of interest for the army? So the Skrulls sent, at the time, the Skrulls had 4 Skrulls on Earth from their initial appearance in the, was it Fantastic Four #2? So there were 4 Skrulls in that, and 3 of them got turned into cows. They were hypnotized into believing they were cows by Mr. Fantastic, and the 4th one escaped, and that 4th one then went on to be like a racist, and the alien racist against aliens. So the alien racist against aliens basically drummed up this anti-alien sentiment for seemingly very little reason, honestly. I guess to prevent the Kree from getting any sort of foothold on the planet, but it would also mean that the Skrulls couldn't really expose themselves at all. I don't know, it seems a bit backwards to me. I'm not a writer, who's to say? But yeah, so the Skrull in disguise basically drumming up racist groups that would find aliens who were living on the planet and kidnap them. There's a lot of kidnapping in this particular story. But what is happening is the Marvel, Captain Marvel, honestly I skimmed through this one a little bit. It was a bit of a hard read. But, you know, Skrulls has himself, Captain Marvel, he gets captured by the Skrulls. Yes, he gets captured by the Skrulls because he has this telecommunications weapon. And when it's misused, it can also be used as a gun. Like a laser thing. So the Skrulls want Captain Marvel to make them this telecommunications space weapon. Despite already having like a bunch of weapons, I don't know. So they kidnap Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel agrees to make it, but then he escapes, basically. And at the same time, Rick Jones, who was Rick Jones was a bunch of stuff. He was like the other half of Captain Marvel for a while. He was more recently, he was like Abomination for a while. I think he's dead right now in the comics. He was definitely dead Immortal Hulk, which was on 2 years ago. 3 years ago. Oh my goodness. It's 3 years ago. It's crazy. But Rick Jones, yeah, he was like Hulk's friend a lot of the time. And in this story anyway, he's been given the Destiny Force. So he gets kidnapped by the Kree for some reason. I guess they want to use him as bait maybe, or maybe they want him for information. It's not. And Rick is given the... So Ronan the Accuser wants to take over the Kree forces, so he gets rid of the Supreme Intelligence, which is the big green angry face that's on screen on the top right there. So he basically gets rid of that's the Kree leader, and he gets rid of that. And the Supreme Intelligence obviously doesn't like that, so it gives Rick the Destiny Force, which gives Rick the power to summon, like, 1940s Captain America, and Namor the Submariner, and, like, Liberty Bell, I think. No, that might be a DC character. I don't know, there's a bunch of Golden Age dudes from the 40s. But, like, all the World War II comic book characters come and help. And then he also freezes the Kree soldiers in time, which is another thing the Destiny Force does. And, excuse me. And he can also reveal that the racist Skrull guy is a Skrull, and then the racist team that the racist Skrull built up kills him. I'm sorry, I'm speaking through the Kree-Skrull war because it's not very good. And then both sides are like, oh shit, we're losing, let's go home. So that was the end of the Kree-Skrull war. And then after the Kree-Skrull war, at an unspecified time, all of Earth's cool Avengers people and X-Men people are like, dang, we all had separate little chunks of information. If we'd all talked to each other, we would have known that the Skrulls were here, or that the Kree was coming, and we could have done something to stop it. So they all joined together to form this little band of people, which they called the Illuminati. And the first thing they do as the Illuminati is to teleport themselves onto the Skrull ship, which this was right after the Kree-Skrull war, so they're sort of recovering. So I guess their assumption is that this will be easy pickings, and they basically say, stay away from Earth, or we'll eat you up again. And the Skrulls are like, no, I'm not gonna stay away from Earth. And then they immediately imprison and kidnap, imprison the Illuminati and study them and learn how their powers work. So, like, they stretch out Mr. Fantastic and they have, like, Namor in, like, a big container or something, I can't remember. But they use this information to give themselves the ability to copy, like, superpowers and stuff. So now the Skrulls have this ability to take the place of superheroes. So the big secret invasion event that happens in like 2008, entirely the Illuminati's fault. And they've not been so lacking in caution, I suppose, then that event never would have happened. But yeah, now chronologically, what came next was Annihilation. That's not right, I don't think it happened in Annihilation, it was the 80s maybe, it doesn't matter. Basically, there's this big dude in space called Galactus. He eats planets. If you watch the crappy Fantastic Four Silver Surfer movie in 2006, this is the dude that fight at the end, kind of. In that he's just a giant cloud, but in this he's a man with a giant helmet. You can pick your favorite, it's personally I prefer the giant helmet guy. Weirdly enough, the ending of that movie is very similar to Green Lantern, the Green Lantern movie, where at the end of that it is, what is it, Green Lantern fights a giant sweat cloud, which is, I think, parallax. I don't remember much of that movie, except that Taika Waititi was in it, which is where, like, honestly, I thought he was doing, like, more comedy stuff, but he was in, like, big budget movies since, like, 2011. Also, how about Galactus? Yeah, Galactus ate the Skrull homeworld, unfortunately. Their world is gone. So now there's, like, only the chunks of Skrulls that are left. Originally they were on Skrullos, but then that was in ancient times, and they moved off of Skrullos to Tron X4, and then Galactus came in Tron X4. So now there's just like those splinter groups of Skrulls, and all these other groups of Skrulls want to become the new rulers of the Skrull Empire. So they're all fighting amongst themselves. And there's one group in particular who are very sort of religious, and they have a particular Skrull god, and according to the Skrull god, the Earth was promised to the Skrull people, and the Skrulls are like, okay, so we're gonna go take the planet back. This is gonna be our planet now. And in steps this way, Queen Veronica, I think it's Veronica. Queen Veronica was the, like, main reason the invasion happened as it did. She took the place of one of the Avengers and coordinated all of the Skrulls that were in her sort of little army. And, you know, she was just controlling everything from behind the scenes. There was, at one point in time, there was, what was it like? They started replacing world leaders, scientists, superheroes, politicians. Politicians are world leaders, but different areas of power. Like, they replaced one of the guys in S.H.I.E.L.D. They replaced one of the guys in AIM. They replaced Hydra people. Just a bunch of these key figures that would stand in the way of them taking over the planet. And the plan was then to have the people of Earth be on board with Skrulls coming on by having their leaders say, these guys are cool, let's just have them stop by. And then they can take the planet back. They're friendly people who will help. Yeah, I basically said that already, but yeah, then the plan was to basically enslave all the people on Earth. And surprise, surprise, that didn't go down too well with, wait, is that the Alex Ross suit? That's cool. Sorry, this is, a bunch of the Avengers fighting potentially Skrulls. There's a lot of, like, duplicates, so, like, you can see there's two Wolverines on the bottom, and there's two Spider-Man on the top there, and there's two copies of Wonder Man, and there's Thor and Ares, which are different characters, that they're fighting each other. And what else is here? There are two copies of, there's two Iron Man. There's one on the left, and then there's one small one on the very right there. And two Captain America, and then Captain America's Captain Marvel's one in the top right, wearing the red with the star on it, and then in the bottom right, wearing black with like a lightning bolt. And then of course, Luke Cage in the very middle there. One wearing yellow and one wearing a tank top sort of thing. Like I was talking about as far as, so, I'm sorry, it's getting really hot. I have to close the windows because people are loud. But yeah, all the Avengers, some of the Avengers have been replaced, but I don't know who has been replaced. So they're just sort of hoping for the best. So now, important character, Elijah, the Human Torch's ex-wife. So in the 80s, there was a the Human Torch married Ben's longtime girlfriend, Alicia Masters, and I think it was the case that I'm not sure if it was editorial or fans that didn't like it, so they changed it so it was a Skrull. We'll check that later, but picture that it was revealed then that Alicia was a Skrull lady named Elijah. Who had been sent to spy on the Fantastic Four, basically. Oh, oops, I got a message. But, let's drop one. Yeah, Elijah is basically exposed as a fake by Alicia Masters' father, the Puppet Master, who's another Fantastic Four villain, who makes magic puppets out of clay, and those puppets, I think they're like voodoo dolls, basically. I can't remember, to be honest. It's either they're voodoo dolls or they make like clowns. I think it's voodoo dolls. It's been a minute. But, yeah, basically, Elijah is exposed as not being Alicia Masters, and the Fantastic Four obviously upset that Alicia Masters has been taken by the Skrulls. So like, where's Alicia Masters? Help us find her. And so she's like, okay, if you let me go, I'll help you find Alicia Masters. So she does that. When she comes back, Elijah still likes Johnny and tells him that she's pregnant with Johnny's child, which isn't true, it's actually a bomb, just called the egg. And Johnny is extremely upset that he's been betrayed multiple times now by Elijah. So he wants nothing to do with her. But Elijah likes him. Lots of soap opera drama stuff going on. So basically, she disappears for years and comes back around Secret Invasion. And she takes the place of one of the Fantastic Four characters, in order to open up this gateway that they have in their building that will basically suck the building into another universe, so that when the Skrulls come to take the planet, Fantastic Four aren't there. In the end, Elijah does end up helping the Fantastic Four get back. She's sort of like I wouldn't even call her an anti-hero, she's just, I guess, inconsistent. But yeah, so the Secret Invasion plan fails. I don't know why I put Elijah there. Basically the plan was take over, replace a bunch of key figures, and convince the populace to submit themselves to the Skrulls. Plan fails, and the Skrulls are revealed to be evil. And they're just like, find me, I guess. And they just start killing everybody. So they deploy all these super Skrulls that they have stored. So if you remember earlier, there is super Skrull. It's the powers of the four Fantastic Four. So what they've done is they've taken that basic idea and they've expanded it off of the abilities that they have acquired from the Illuminati. And taking that even further, they've copied, all the X-Men, all the Avengers. So you have these super Skrulls who look like combinations of a bunch of different characters. This one is like part Spider-Man, part Black Panther, part Iron Fist, part Luke Cage. And there's the one that's like part Electro, part Rhino, like the Scorpion as well. So there's just these giant 8-foot tall dudes running around with like laser eyes and giant metal Wolverine claws, killing whoever gets in their way, and the people who are around are doing the best to basically survive. So the main like Avengers team are currently in the Savage Land, so they're not helping with the Super Skrull problem. because this is all happening in New York. So the people who are protecting the New York people from Skrulls are the Thunderbolts, which consists of like Venom and Moonstone, which is actually the character. The Swordsman, who I'm pretty sure is like a Nazi mutant's twin, who is, I'm not gonna explain more about that character, because I think the stream might get taken down. There is Cyborg, radioactive man, who is a Chinese soldier, or something, who has like radioactive powers. Nova, who is a Kree, it's a Kree, who's like a Marvel boy. It's like a junior version of Captain Marvel. And they're just running through. Oh, Bullseye's there as well. Penance is. That was gonna be Penance is there, fine. Who else is there? There is the Young Avengers, who we'll actually have to talk about later. Because the Young Avengers come up again. And Nick Fury's like Howard Commandos, which are just a bunch of like normal people who Nick Fury trusts. Who aren't part of the Avengers or the X-Men or anything like that. People who he himself have handpicked, think that there was no way that they would be seen as like people of interest by the Skrulls. So you got people like Quake and Stature, who's Ant-Man's daughter, with like grocery detail. Who was in the Ant-Man movie actually recently. It's a shame the movie wasn't very good. It's the character's fine. There's a whole thing with her and Darren Cross, where Darren Cross steals her heart and transplants it to himself so that it has shrinking powers, but then he gets stuck tiny, so he has to be carried around on like a little plane. Or in like someone's hand. It's just, whatever is convenient. Because he's like 2 inches tall. And it's just like this teeny tiny businessman who just, anyways. It's them and the Young Avengers and the Runaways. The Runaways are there as well. What else is there? Yeah, so basically the first plan fails. You're like, okay, our initial plan to sneakily be accepted into humanity hasn't worked out. So we've deployed all our dudes who will kill people, and all this time they replaced Ant-Man and Pym with a Skrull, and he has been setting up a initiative where there was a Avengers team in every state in America. And in every one of those states, the Skrull that was taking the place of Hank Pym has replaced one of the team members with a Skrull. So there is a Skrull on every state in America. And the Skrulls in each state have been given an instruction that if they start losing the invasion, what they do is they activate a bomb, basically. So each of these initiative bases for each of the Avengers in the state, which is 50 states, 50 Avengers teams. And obviously sometimes they need to get from state to state very quickly. So they have portals in each of the bases. Excuse me. They portal in each of the bases. And the Skrulls are going to use those portals to send like chunks of America into another universe, basically. So their plan is to blow up the United States and send it into another universe. And all they need to do that is to have 3 active beacons, basically, from 3 active portals. So that brings us on to a strangely important character for the Secret Invasion, 3D Man, who was a minor character from the 80s. Who didn't do much. Honestly, originally it was like a fighter pilot guy who got kidnapped by Skrulls, and then he blew up a Skrull engine while escaping from the Skrulls, and the explosion and the radiation from the crash, when he crashed, caused him to disappear into like the molecules. And his brother showed up. And when his brother showed up, the molecules ended up inside his brother's like glasses. His brother wore glasses. And they ended up inside his glasses. And if the brother focused really hard, he could project the fighter pilot out of the glasses, which would give him like 3 times the strength of a normal human being, and he'd go 3 times as fast in their helmet. And he also would have the power to see Skrulls. But they changed the shape. Anyways, yeah, so the 3D map had the power to identify when Skrulls were pretending to be humans. Which is kind of strange when there was a... No, sorry, if I go back, I missed it. So, back when these guys were fighting, they didn't know who was who, they were killing each other. But around this point when I had completely missed the part where Norman Osborn shoots Veronica in the head on TV, and then becomes the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I missed that. Oops. But yeah, basically, he like slaps her in the head. And there's a TV crew who's watching, and the whole world sees that Norman Osborn saved the whole world, so he's made the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., which he then turns into Hammer. But yeah, Mr. Fantastic basically makes a thing that turns and identifies all these guys in a small area and makes them Skrull, so you can tell who's a Skrull. So he uses that, and then the hero people go back to the US. But they activate their plan to set up all the bombs and blow up the United States. Which is kind of smart because there aren't really any like super people outside of the United States. Is there a reason for the voice change? Do I have voice change wrong? Is that what Tim was talking about? Hold on. I had a voice change on this whole time. Please.
Please tell me I haven't had a voice changer on this entire stream. No. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. What was it, like high pitched, low pitched? Robot? Oh my goodness. I didn't know what Temp was talking about for the longest time. I was like, that's a scary voice to come out of a chipmunk. And I was like, yeah, I suppose a human voice coming out of a chipmunk is scary. But that makes so much more sense. Was it an audio problem? No, there's a really stupid thing that my microphone does when I unplug it and plug it back in. What it does is it opens up Logitech up, and it sort of resets my settings, and the default setting for whatever reason enables a voice changer. So I have to, when I unplug my microphone and I plug it back in, I have to open up Logitech Hub, and I have to turn on the thing and then turn it back off, and then it turns off the voice changer. And I unplugged my headphones for like 2 seconds yesterday, and I didn't think about it. And then hold on, was I in a voice call since then? No, I wasn't in a voice call yesterday. I was thinking, was I in a voice call and no one said anything? But no, I was not. I wasn't going to say anything. It was alien robot, so I thought you were just going with Skrull. That would have been smart. No, it was honestly just a mistake. I did not notice. Oh my goodness. I hope, like, people can understand what I'm saying. I hope it wasn't, like, too illegible. Hold on, I'm going to move my microphone. It's going to be loud for 2 seconds. There we go. I hope the voice changer wasn't, like, too bad. I have no idea what it sounded like. It might have just made everything not at all understandable. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Anyways, man, exactly, man. Just the horse on the beach. That's rough. Anyway, 3D Man. Basically, 3D Man's whole thing is that he fought Skrulls in the 80s. He showed up like 2 times. He wasn't very popular, which is not surprising since no one's heard of him. But yeah, basically, at some point or another, the dude that was originally 3D Man got turned back into a human and not a pair of glasses, and then he retired as 3D Man. And 3D Man stopped being like it turned it like a costume? I'm not sure exactly how that happened. Like, it stopped being just like his body and started being a costume, because the original 3D Man gave the new 3D Man a costume for 3D Man, but originally the 3D Man was like a projection. He wasn't wearing a costume. It doesn't matter. Basically, the new 3D Man showed up around just before Secret Invasion. And 3D Man's whole thing is that he can spot when someone's a Skrull. Excuse me. So he would have been very useful heading up and like stuck in the desert. He was in a plane when the Skrulls decided to take over, they shut down all of Iron Man's like equipment, and all of the Avengers equipment ran on Iron Man's equipment. So 3D Man was in a plane when the Skrulls took off. And so the plane crashed with him in it, and he ended up like just surviving somehow, but he was in the middle of nowhere. So he had to like get back to one of the Avengers stations or whatever before he could really be useful. But when he got there, he realized that each of the states had a Skrull in it. One of the Avengers teams were able to pick him up and basically brought him back to the base. And when he got to the base, he could see that one of them was a Skrull. So he pointed out. They all attack the Skrull guy and they win. And then they're like, oh no, what if there are more Skrulls? So, excuse me. So 3D Man goes to like there's this, I don't remember what his name is, but basically his whole thing is that he can teleport weapons out of his body, but they use it to teleport people across the country. Yeah, anyway, they do that, and they go like state to state, taking out the designated Skrull in each team, until they build up like a group of like a dozen or so superheroes from each of the states who are now hunting for Skrulls. And they split off into little teams to go to different states to take out the other Skrulls until they have a big chunk of people who are now ready to kill Skrulls. And 3D Man goes to get the help of the original 3D Man, who is just like an old guy now, and they run into a group called the Skrull Hit Squad, who are a bunch of humans who eat Skrull body parts to get their powers, and just like kill them and stuff. But by eating the body parts of the Skrulls, they basically like condemn themselves to death. So after they kill all the Skrulls, they sort of just die. But anyway, 3D Man goes around each of the states killing people, and he gets to Ant-Man, who is excuse me. He gets to Ant-Man, who had been replaced by a Skrull, who at this point had been dating like Tigra for about a year. And Tigra had been pregnant with the Skrull's baby. And this was causing Tigra to have like nightmares and stuff after Secret Invasion, because she thought she was gonna like explode. Her stomach was like gonna burst open with Skrull babies, but no, that didn't happen. She had a totally normal baby. I can't remember what his name was. It's probably like Tyler or Hunter or something. I don't know. But yeah, at the time after Secret Invasion, when Ant-Man came back, he basically had to reconcile with Tigra, who had been dating the Skrull for about a year and not realized. So they were in a very awkward position where they couldn't really, like, talk to each other. It was a bit awkward. Anyways, what are we talking about? Yeah, basically, 3D Man shoots the last of the Skrulls before they can blow up the United States. The day is saved. Here's just this one last guy before we move on from Secret Invasion. So this dude named Crusader, who is actually a Skrull named Zereg. And basically he was sent in the 90s to spy on the Avengers, but he arrived at a time when the Avengers had disbanded. So he didn't really have anything to do, so he just sort of hung around as a human. He lived as a human, and he sort of liked it, and he decided he would be a superhero to protect the planet Earth. So when Secret Invasion happened, he was on the side of the people, and not the side of the Skrulls. Oh, my throat is dying. Anyways, what's his face? Zereg. He, for a time, went by Crusader, and he picked it specifically because it didn't tell people what his powers were. Because he didn't want people to know he was a Skrull. So he was just going, like, running around as a strong man sort of thing. Also, his costume is extremely 90s. I don't know if anyone has seen, like, the generic 90s characters like were just pouring out at the time from, like, Rob Liefeld and what's his face, who did Spawn. There were just a lot of really, really generic characters coming out around the 90s. And they had, like, these really gross veins, and they had the, like, headgear thing that he has on. I don't know what that is. Yeah, they had that anyway. He's just an extremely 90s character. He has a very 90s name as well, like Crusader. There were other 90s characters like Feral Child, I think was one, who was just like Beast if he was orange and a dick. Excuse me. And Cable is one. There's another 90s character who looks extremely 90s. And of course Deadpool, another one, who ended up being very popular. But there were a lot of characters who looked extremely like Deadpool. Hold on, I need to go through the list of Rob Liefeld characters at some point, because some of them are rough. But yeah, basically Crusader decided to be a superhero, and he started training this young fella named Freedom Ring, who had like the Freedom Ring, which was like a super ring that if any wish that he made would come true with the Freedom Ring, but it was only within like a 5-meter radius or something. So he could change stuff in his immediate area, but he couldn't, like, save world hunger, I guess. Excuse me. But Freedom Ring died fighting an evil alternate universe version of Iron Man called like Iron Maniac or something. It was goofy. Yeah, there's a lot of like evil universe characters. I don't think the Iron Maniac is particularly important. I'd never heard of him until I came across Crusader, so I didn't read into him. But I don't know, maybe he's in other stuff. Anyways, the Skrull culture is that when a friend of yours dies, you take up their weapon as a way to continue their fight, sort of thing. So Zereg gets the Freedom Ring off of Freedom Ring, which is really just a way for the writer to give Crusader the Freedom Ring. Because it's a very useful thing for a Skrull to have when he doesn't want people to know he's a Skrull. Because the Freedom Ring, he can wish himself not a Skrull, basically. He can wish that he's human. He's seen as human. So he does that sometimes. Around like 3D Man and stuff. Yeah, so Crusader then joins up the 50 State Initiative. He registers as a superhero, because at the time you had to register as a superhero, and then you had to go to this superhero training facility in order to join the one of the 50 Avengers teams. So he did that because he wanted to protect the world. And then he went on to fight. He didn't fight alongside 3D Man. What happened was he ended up joining up with Nick Fury and Captain America. Because at the time Captain America... Was it Captain America? It might have been the Bucky, like the Winter Soldier Captain America. Because that guy was running around at the time. Yeah, I think it was probably him. But anyway, they were running around with Nick Fury, killing Skrulls. And then he doesn't really show up again after Secret Invasion. I guess they weren't sure what to do with him. But he's a fun character, I like him. I hope they figure out what to do with him in the future. Anyways, actually this is before Secret Invasion. This guy shows up, Hulkling. He himself is a Skrull. He is half Skrull, half Kree. If you remember back to, we were talking about the Kree-Skrull War, the guy who had the magic space telephone that turned into a gun, that's his dad, basically. You can see him in the background there, the art. Captain Marvel. The original Captain Marvel, who was just like a Kree soldier guy, could fly and shoot guns and lasers and stuff. What was I talking about? Hulkling. Yeah, he is the illegitimate child of Captain Marvel and the Skrull princess from when Captain Marvel was captured by the Skrulls. So I didn't really go into it, but the Captain Marvel had been captured by... What was he captured? I don't know. One of the Skrulls. And it was revealed then it was actually Super Skrull in disguise. And Super Skrull brought the... he wanted to impress the Emperor with the telephone gun weapon. So that he would let him back in the Empire. It didn't work. The Emperor was like, I don't care about this. Get out of here. And Captain Marvel met what's-her-face, Princess Enel at that time, and then they did a smooch, and the princess got pregnant, but they had to send the baby away. So the princess's chambermaid took Hulkling, then called Drick the 8th or something, but his human name is Teddy, so we'll call him Teddy. The chambermaid of the princess took Teddy to America to hide him from the Skrull Empire, because half Kree, half Skrull was going to cause a lot of problems, so they had to hide him away. And he then showed up in Young Avengers #1 back in 2005. Wow, okay. Where they fought like Kang the Conqueror in the first issue, so it's kind of crazy. But the Young Avengers then was made up of like Patriot, who's like a Captain America Junior version, Wiccan, who's like a Scarlet Witch but shorter. There's like, who else is there? No, Wiccan was going as like Thor Boy initially or something. That's the name he was going with. And Hulkling originally didn't have like, he looked less bat-like. He was wearing more of like a Hulk costume. And it was just like these three guys initially. It was Patriot, Hulkling, and Thor Boy. Yeah. And until they met up with like Kate Bishop and Stature and Iron Lad, and there was another one. Oh, well, what was it? Vision? No, it wasn't Vision. It was something like Vision. Like young Vision. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyways, that's where he showed up. And then in literally issue 2 of Young Avengers, Super Skrull shows up and tries to kidnap Teddy because he's like the prince of all the Skrulls, and Super Skrull wants him to unite the Skrulls who are currently in like tiny little groups because of Galactus eating the planet. So they're still like fighting in their tiny groups, and he wants to bring the Teddy back so that he can unite all the little groups under one banner. But Teddy doesn't want to do that. He wants to stay on Earth and be one of the Young Avengers and spend time with Wiccan and, I don't know, go to school, I guess. But that option gets taken away, basically. Teddy goes on, he runs home, where Super Skrull reveals that his mum is not his mum, it's a chambermaid from who took him from the Kree ship. He kills Teddy's adopted mum, basically. But it's okay because Super Skrull takes Teddy's place when a Kree ship shows up that wants to like bring him to the Kree homeworld, because the Kree see him as one of their own, and because he's like part Kree. I don't know how they found out about him, but they show up at the end, and Super Skrull takes his place. And then, like 20 years later, Teddy gets married to Wiccan. I think it's like the first. It's not the first gay marriage in Marvel. I think North Star was first. North Star is a Canadian, a French-Canadian mutant who has the power to like fly super fast. Who gets married to, I think Clive Babineau is a character from iZombie. That's a different thing. He gets married to some guy. Anyways, Skrulls, Empire. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Empire. There's too many stories going on at the same time, in my opinion. It's spread out too far, it's too disconnected. I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, but there are some good bits in it, like the Thing adopts 2 children, one Kree and one Skrull, and that's kind of sweet. There's a lot of nice stories that come out of that. Is it the Skrull one or the Kree? I think it's the Skrull one. It acts like a tiny soldier because they've been trained as a soldier, but they're like 4, which is always funny. And you know, the Thing is doing his best to manage these kids who are fighting all the time and stuff. It's sweet. And then what else? Hulkling gets married at some point in Empire to Wiccan. I think it's like issue 9 something. Yeah, that was nice. That was wholesome. But yeah, the actual story for Empire is basically, if you think back to the very start of the stream, when I was talking about the Skrulls taking a portion of the Kree and a portion of the Kotati and leaving them on Earth's moon for a year, told them to build something, and then the Kree killed all the Kotati. Well, they missed one. They missed one of the Kotati, basically. And that Kotati is on the moon, and it wants to basically kill all non-plant life. So that's its plan. It's going to kill all the non-plant life in the galaxy. How's it going to do that? I don't remember. I didn't read it very thoroughly. I was sort of skimming. But yeah, the Kree and the Skrulls join forces to fight the Kotati. Initially, the Avengers are tricked into joining forces with the Kotati because the Avengers are like, you know, we gotta protect this plant man because the Skrulls are bad guys and the Kree are bad guys. We can take them all on. Until the Kotati guy's just like, actually, I want to kill all of you. And then he just like puts a bunch of plants through the thing and ties up all the Avengers with plants. And the Fantastic Four is there too. They're not super relevant at the moment. There's actually there's one fun part of Empire that I quite liked. There was sort of unrelated side story in the Fantastic Four book where the main Fantastic Four are busy fighting the whole Kotati thing. So the Franklin Richards and Valeria Richards and Spider-Man and Wolverine sort of take over. And Spider-Man gets like a Fantastic Four suit, which is pretty cool. I think he's had like a Future Foundation one before, but not like a Spider-Man one. It looks cool. It's nice. Nice costume. But he only wears it for like 2 seconds. And also it doesn't have the number 4 on it. It has a spider symbol, which is kind of sad. And Wolverine's one is similar, except it has an X on it because he's one of the X-Men, which doesn't make sense because right now he's not one of the X-Men, he's one of the Fantastic Four, but I digress. I enjoyed that one, but yeah, the Franklin Richards uses like cloaking technology to make himself look like the Hulk and make Valeria Richards look like Ghost Rider. It's a fun comic book. I enjoyed that comic book. But yeah, the rest of the Empire stuff didn't really grab my attention. Basically, the Kotati lose. That's all you need to know. And the Kree and Skrull like treaty thing is not in effect anymore. I'm not totally clear. I think they're like okay with each other, but they're not like friends, if that makes sense. There's like tension between the two. Anyways, what else is there? Oh yeah, MCU stuff. There we go. Well, there's not much left now, actually. How long have I been streaming? An hour and 20 minutes. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, so the Skrulls in the MCU are quite different. In terms of physiology, they're very, very similar. The only thing is, I don't think they have hypnotism, which they don't really use that much. Anyways, they don't seem to have hypnotism, and they're also peaceful. In the MCU, it's purely just the Kree that are violent. So rather than the Skrulls going from peaceful to violent because of the Kree, they go peaceful to peaceful, but they're protecting themselves. If that makes sense. Like they're sort of refugee freedom fighters who are just like trying to survive wherever they can. And oh yeah, also Captain Marvel spoilers, if anyone wants to watch that movie. I enjoyed parts of it, but it's I think I feel like I got more out of it because I read the comic stuff, so I was expecting it to go differently. But I don't know if it's a good standalone movie. It's definitely not as bad as people say, though. There's just like one scene where it's like, okay, this is a little forced, but other than that, it's fine. It's on Disney Plus, so you can skip past the scene. It's like basically like power of friendship sort of stuff, which I'm not a. Well, I mean, it works sometimes. It didn't work in Captain Marvel. Anyways, the Skrulls, they're just like friendly people who want freedom. So that's what the movie's about. And then I don't know what else I can really say. I wrote all this stuff on the page, but it's basically just fluff. I obviously don't want to spoil specifics about the movie because I don't feel like that helps anything. I can tell you that the Skrulls have since found a home for themselves, away from the Kree. Sorry, I'm burping. Away from the Kree, and now they're working with Nick Fury on his like little space station thing called Saber. So that's the end of Captain Marvel. That's what's happened there. So Talos, this is really the only important guy that you need to know, except for Nick Fury, but I'm pretty sure most people do know him already. Talos is like the leader of the refugees, basically. His whole mission is that he wants to find his refugee wife and his refugee child. So he's looking through Captain Marvel's memories to try and find where that is. And by doing that, he sets off the events of the film. And the two end up working together to find the refugees. So, what is next for the Skrulls? Well, today, literally today, came out Secret Invasion, the new Disney Plus show. What is going to be in the show? I don't know. Could it have Veronica? Maybe. Probably not. Could it have 3D Man? That's entirely possible, but I don't think so. I haven't seen today's episode yet, so I don't know what's in it. It probably won't follow the comics very closely, because I don't think it can. The way it's set up is very... It's set up in a way where I don't think it would be transferable to film. Especially not in the current state of MCU stuff. I don't know, maybe they'd be able to do it. But yeah, I'm gonna go watch that now. So what I will do is I will see who's live and send you there. Assuming there's anyone here, actually. It was okay. I don't think it's bad as people make it out to be. Yeah, honestly, I already watched Captain Marvel not too long ago, and I enjoyed it. There was like one scene that I didn't like that much, but I just skipped past it. Super Skrull was my favorite Marvel character for a good minute. Honestly, same. He's a fun guy. He doesn't have much in the way of like depth, but his powers are cool. Like, there's never like a thing where we just learn about the Super Skrull. It's just like he's there to service a fight or something. But that's fine. Like, I'm always happy to see him. Anyways, you know what? I'm not gonna play the trailer because I feel like that could get me in trouble. So what I will do... Oops. Don't play that. That's not a good idea. What I will do is I will link it if you want to watch the trailer. I'm gonna go watch the show. And I will see if there's anyone that we can raid into. Let me see, who's live? Erica Biacco, Dr. Lollymay. Let's go, Dr. Lollymay, let's go. Kino Lime is just back from Japan. I think yesterday they came back. So they're playing Crusaders Kings. It's very nice to see them back. So yeah, I'm gonna end it now, but thank you for spending time with me. I'm sorry about the voice changer. I honestly had no idea that was on for ages. So thank you for letting me know about that. But yeah, I will see you all again. I also have to change the schedule a bit because I forgot I had stuff on Sunday. So I can't do the one that's on Sunday. But the next stream should be exciting. I don't know if people have seen it, but I am going to be using a humanoid thing. This is the last squirrel stream. Yeah, so I'm excited. So I will all see you then. Bye bye.
very serious issue. We're continuing to discuss the evils of government. Discussing about the history of our great America. Now we're discussing some of the evil things that our government is currently doing to people.
What kind of my energy symbol?